opposite side set for Zulkowski. We're checking, it was Lauren Long, and she went long as she tried to go on the left baseline, sideline, excuse me, and it went over the headline. Hempfield up 12-9. Hempfield with service for Christy Redinger. Redinger with the run up and the jump. Dug out by Long. And Long's made it a center set. And it looks like DeFloria was just easy, right on a platter for her. Hempfield has a 4-point lead. That's the biggest in either game.
Yeah, and they're getting those jump balls. Is that time DeFloria able to win the 50-50 battle at the net?
This one into the net. Indians cannot get it off. Savitsky went down to her knees as it came to the near antenna, but she couldn't play it off the twine, and it's a 14-9 lead for the Hempfield Spartans. Redinger with another serve, the jump serve, played in the back line. Center set 50-50 ball, won by Hempfield, but the Indians saved. Into the forecourt near side set. DeFloria powers it off the block, and down it goes. West Allegheny could not get there, and Brian Begor a little bit upset. He was kind of animated calling that timeout. Makes it 15-9, and he went up. So, well, he's got sort of a crew cut, so he didn't really brush his hair back, but his motions and his body language showing that he's a little upset with that. I thought the back line had a chance to come up and get that off the block at the front net. Maybe that's why Coach Begor was upset, Sean.
Well, something I noticed actually the point before that went to Hempfield, I saw Begor turn around somewhat towards the crowd with a bit of a smile on his face. I was going to say, well, certainly he's not panicking at this point, but as you mentioned, he was pretty animated when he called that timeout, so he's going to talk it over with his team right now. He looks like he's none too thrilled and trying to motivate his team, because we mentioned when you lose a close set like West Allegheny did in that opening one just by 2 points, 27-25, it maybe sometimes takes teams a little while to respond and get back in that same mindset. You get deflated a bit. Certainly, as you mentioned, Hempfield hasn't really run away with this one, but they've now extended after having the lead in the majority of the contest. They've now opened up a 6-point advantage, and this is a danger territory for West Allegheny.
Another serve for Redinger. She's been on it for the 3 of this 4-point run. Good job to get it over. Great dig off the floor by Long, and Long gets up to go to the far sideline, and now she gets the set, but it goes Long. How about Long was everywhere? On the court, gets back up, over the head, and then they set her at the right or the left antenna, Sean, but she went too far.
Yeah, did not miss by much, but that's another costly one. Is now 7-point advantage, and these serves have really, well, as I say that, it's drilled right into the net, but Hempfield serves, once they get it in play, remember we mentioned they had a lot of service mistakes early in that first set, but when they get them over the net and they're able to locate them, they are certainly very difficult to handle for the Lady Indians.
Allison Kester checks back in for West Allegheny. Serve for Lauren Long. Long with the right hand. Long, but couldn't get out of the way. They set out, but Gabby Holmberg was standing there. Now, what's the call? Yeah, it is. I thought Holmberg couldn't get out of the way. It kind of surprised her almost, like it was through a screen. So a 5-point game. West Allegheny trailing by 5. Blocks, make it 6. Kill point by Staines. West Allegheny blocked it, but couldn't pick it off the net. 17-11 Spartans.
And Staines has had some nice moments around the net as well. 5'10" sophomore. She has a bright future for Hempfield area.
Off the bench to serve, Emma Pavernik for the Spartans. Dug by West Allegheny, they'll set up. Kester, played by Hempfield, near antenna. Morgan DeFloria. Left antenna, angle left to right. Another kill point for DeFloria. And Hempfield leads at 18-11.
We talk a lot about DeFloria, but I've been impressed by Hempfield's depth, and that's something that Coach Turchetta really focused on. She said that's been something they've been trying to build over the years. That's going to be a real tough break for West Allegheny on that.
Pavernik hit the tape, and Savitsky had turned around to look to the back line, and it just trickled over and hit her back and went down for the ace for Pavernik. The depth at the front line, too. You can't key on any of those players because they're all pretty impressive, at least in this match. West Allegheny's Buck plays it into the forecourt. Center set, blocked by the Indians. Nice job to get up and block the kill attempt. Holmberg spiked by Kester. Kester gets the block point. West Allegheny gets service back, trailing by 7 at 19-12. And it will be Alyssa Plaha to serve.
They need her to go on a bit of a run now.
Dug out by Hempfield. They won't get a kill, or will they? Kisner or DeFloria from the back line. Played in the net high in the air for Hempfield to the near side, but that's 4 hits. And a point for West Allegheny, and that is 2 the beginning of the run, I agree that they need to put one together here. First game was back and forth. The second game kind of had that same set, but Hempfield, since the middle of this game, has been in control, but the Indians have cut it to 6, excuse me, at 19-13. Another serve for Plaha. Played by Hempfield to the near side for Gabby Holmberg. Into the net, down to get it, but DeFloria couldn't. And that's 3 in a row for the Indians at 19-14.
Coach Begor really talking after every point. He's going up, is down, and his bench giving instructions to some of the players on the course. I'm talking to Savisky before that previous one. He's doing his best to make sure his team stays in this one.
Good job by Plaha to dig after the kill point. Played over, and that's going to be a point at the far antenna. I said it was Kester who got it. Just kind of came up high on DeFloria, and she couldn't return it. So the Indians have cut it to 5. They've got a 4-point run. Another serve for Plaha. Dug by Hempfield to the back line. They'll have to play it over. Kisner, she does it. Plaha tapped into the donut. And that's a great decision quickly by Morgan Zulkowski to get that point.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, it looked as though the set was coming, and you just find that weak spot of the defense.
There's Plaha again.
High,
yeah, high on that time. Really good high arcer. Played right back as DeFloria tried to kill it. Blocked in the center. Zulkowski was there.
I think we have a 6-0 run right now.
You are correct, sir. The lead is back to 2. 5 of those 6 points off of Plaha's service.
We said West Allegheny needed a run, and certainly they've got one to trim their deficit to just 2 points.
Another serve for Plaha. Played by the Spartans. They'll set it up. Bam! That'll end the run. Morgan DeFloria, kill point Hempfield.
And that's a big point. I was expecting a timeout to come from Hempfield if they weren't able to get that point. It would have been a 1-point contest. Instead, they get the point. They now extend their lead to 3.
So Hempfield gets the serve back. Walking up with the jump serve a little bit with DeFloria. Played by Long to the far side. That's a double hit. 21-17, Hempfield leads in game 2. They have a 1-0 lead in this match. Another serve for the senior DeFloria. She goes towards the right corner this time of the run up and the jump. Played by the Indians. Quick center set. Good job by Pavernik to save it. And it's played over by Hempfield. Brian Begor petitioning the officials for a point, and also kind of a couple of words for his girls.
I think that was Lexi Irwin with the left hand that was able to dump that one over.
Yeah, quickly, Irwin. Another serve for DeFloria, played by the Indians to the far side. That is blocked, and another point. The block by DeFloria, who rotated up into the center line. Irwin was there as well for some support. Zulkowski couldn't play it off the court. 23-17 lead for Hempfield. Off the tape, played by West A. Quick set. Zulkowski dug by Hempfield. Near side, that is wide. As from the near antenna, Kisner tried to go down the sideline, and it is out. West A gets it back. They trail 23-18.
And the Indians have already gotten one extended run. They're going to need another one here, and they have Savisky back on the line to do it.
Savisky runs up, jumps, played by Hempfield. Back to the near antenna. The block was there anyway by Bach, but I think it was more into the net by Kisner. 2 in a row for the Indians. They stay alive at 23-19. Savisky moves over to left of center this time with a right-handed serve. Played by Hempfield. Near side set, but offline. So Kisner goes in the back, but the angle was outside of the antenna. So it's 3 in a row for the Indians. They've cut it to 23-20.
It doesn't seem like any of these sets are going to be won easily. So West Allegheny's battled back once again.
Savisky, ace. Down to try to play it off the court was Kisner. The Indians have won 4 points in a row to make it 23-21. There's the timeout by Lindsay Turchetta.
Good timeout because I think Savisky was feeling on the back end after that ace. She came up, she was jumping in excitement. I'm going to try to cool her down a little bit. But you have to give a lot of credit to West Allegheny. We mentioned they were trailing 19-11. It looked as though this one potentially could have been a rout. But they battled back. They got 6 in a row to make it 19-17, and they've once again battled back They were down 23-17. 4 consecutive points makes it 23-21, and they are right in this contest.
They've won 10 of the last 14 points. Have the Indians to keep alive the first game back and forth. And neither team led by more than 2. Hempfield won that game 27-25, trying to take the second game. First game of our doubleheader tonight here at Norwin as the homestanding Knights will face Oakland Catholic in the nightcap. You can also hear that here at MSASports.net. Sabisky again, a little bit to the left of center. Served 3 of the last 4 points in this run. Runs it up. This is played by Hempfield. They'll center set it, tapped and dug out by the Indians. Reverse set. Near antenna Buck, played by Hempfield. They need to get it over, and they do. Set at the far antenna. And that is deflected, and it's a point. The Kester kill. 23-22. Another serve for Sabisky. Runs up right on the center this time. Played by Hempfield. They need to get it over, and they will. Dumped into the middle. Great dive by Sabisky to keep it alive. But a double hit gives the point to the Spartans. Serve to the Spartans. Game point at 24-22 for Lexi Irwin. Irwin runs up. Play to the back line and long. Woo!
Well, that
just to repeat, woo!
West Allegheny, I do not think let that one go long on purpose. I think they just had a bit of miscommunication, and
it was very close.
Very fortunate that that one was called out, because that one could have gone either way.
Taylor Hottenfeller to serve. West Allegheny down a point. Can they come back to tie it up? You bet they can. Morgan Zilkowski kill point. We're tied at 24. Timeout Hempfield.
In that opening set, we saw Hempfield come battling back when the Lady Spartans faced set point against, and this time a reversal as West Allegheny does the same. And they were down 8 points, and they've now come back to tie this one. You have to feel that the Indians have momentum in their favor. Obviously, that's what Coach Turchetta has in mind as well. She's trying to call this timeout to maybe slow down that momentum for West Allegheny and get her squad to regroup.
Each month this fall, Progress will recognize an athlete of the month in boys and girls soccer as well as football for their play on the turf. For September, the first in turf athletes were Ben DiNucci, Pine Richland for football, and Mahaska of Upper St. Clair for girls soccer, Adrian Biemi of Winchester Thurston for boys soccer. October's ballot will be posted this upcoming Monday, the 27th, at our website, msasports.net. If you have a suggestion for who should be considered for this month's ballot, let us know. At info, that's INFO with the @ sign at msasports.net. Hottenfeller to serve. Tied at 24. Win by 2. Near side set. Hammered home by Christy Redinger. That might be her first kill point of either game, and couldn't come at a bigger time for Hempfield. They're up 1, 25-24.
Once again, the second time they're going to be on the serve with a chance to put this one away.
Serving from right to left. They'll run up with a jump serve. It is Redinger. Tapped up the net, played in the back line, and that is dug out. It wasn't Redinger with the serve. It was Holmberg, excuse me. Opposite side set for Lauren Long, and she goes wide. And that is it. Hempfield needed extra points to win the first game. They needed extra points to win the second game. 26-24, the Hempfield Spartans lead this match 2-0. We'll take a break. Back with game number 3 right after this. You're listening to the 2014 WPIL Volleyball Playoffs, sponsored by Carlow University. And they are right here on the MSA Sports Network. MSASports.net is the place to click on every day this fall.
On Mondays, we have the latest MSA Sports Top 10 football rankings.
Tuesday is a look back at the biggest and best plays from the previous Scholastic football weekend with the plays of the week.
We go big game hunting on Wednesday with a preview of the top 4 WPIAL football contests.
I'll look into my crystal ball on Thursday with the wildly popular Chicks Picks.
Also on Thursday, we preview the college football slate in the region for the upcoming weekend Then we recap those games each and every Sunday.
A complete rundown of all the games comes your way on Friday, plus plenty of broadcasts to choose from on Friday nights.
On Saturday, we'll take a look at the top performances with Friday night highlights. Then on Sunday, a look back at the previous day's high school standouts with Saturday's Scholastic Stars.
Anytime, anywhere, always there this fall with the MSA Sports Network at msasports.net.
UPMC Sports Medicine is the region's largest and most experienced center dedicated to caring for athletes of all levels. And as we celebrate more than 25 years of world-class care, we're proud to offer more services, have more physicians, and treat more student athletes than any other sports medicine provider in the region. Why would you choose to go anywhere else? To learn more, call 1-855-93-SPORT or visit upmcsportsmedicine.com.
The MSA Sports Network is more than just high school football this fall. Log on to msasports.net for coverage of all other Scholastic fall sports with schedules, results, and rankings of boys and girls soccer. We'll also have results and postseason coverage of girls tennis, boys and girls golf, and cross country. Plus results and rankings along with weekly matches involving the MSA Sports Hometown Girls Volleyball program. The best coverage of all WPIL fall sports is only here on the MSA Sports Network.
The history books are filled with the names of great athletes and great teams from Western Pennsylvania. They share stories of great victories and stunning defeats, but they all have one thing in common. They know the championship season is the time to be first. First Commonwealth Bank, proud sponsor of the WPIAL and the best high school athletes in Western Pennsylvania. First Commonwealth, time to be first.
Welcome back to Norwin High School Girls WPIL Volleyball Playoffs, sponsored by Carlow University on MSA Sports with Sean Myers, Bob Workwas. We are second day of volleyball coverage. We're smack dab in the middle of playoff soccer coverage. The West Allegheny boys soccer team is still alive. Sean and I have been involved with that coverage, although you got off the hook tomorrow.
I did.
With double coverage. You're doing cross country?
Cross country. Yeah. I was going to be potentially doing volleyball as well at night, and that would have been in this same general area, Greensburg, Salem, but I believe that was Chartiers Houston that did not advance. So I'm just going to be pulling single duty, if you will, tomorrow.
And you're watching, I see her picture, I can't remember her name. Is it the runner from Shaler, who's so dominant?
Yeah, that's
Schwartz?
I think you're right about that. I need to commit those names to memory.
Well, that's one name. You just talk about her because she's been so good, and she's the favorite heading into that. As we continue coverage of the volleyball playoffs, the cross-country championships tomorrow, the soccer playoffs. Friday night is the final night of the regular season for high school football.
And then we have the pairing, the bracket show coming up.
Coming up on Monday.
You and I are both on that, I believe.
Was there an email out?
I think so. Check on that.
So we'll bring you that on Monday night. There's more soccer because there's soccer action on Monday.
Looks like it's just going to be me, you, Sam Hall, and Josh Roundtree doing the pairing show because we're going to have a lot of guys dedicated to soccer. So we'll see how that gets split up.
Yeah, we have Monday night soccer games, so we'll bring it to you. Busy time, and it's a fun time, and then it slows down. A championships, and I believe, what do I do with my bracket?
November 1st?
Yeah, the Saturday at November 1st. There'll be soccer championships, too. Soccer championships are split between Friday, Halloween night. So the Spooktacular Halloween night has the soccer championships plus the first round of the WPIL playoffs. And then Saturday for some more soccer championships and all three volleyball championships. The one constant with all that, MSA Sports. First point of game number 3, just like the first two, favor of the Indians. Serve now for Rachel Buck at the back line for West Allegheny. And she goes long. And we're tied at 1.
If I'm correct here, the only lead that West Allegheny had in that second set was 1-0. After that, Hempfield had the lead the rest of the way, and West Allegheny came back to tie it, but could never get over the hump.
You're correct, sir. This game, 1-0 West A, and then tied at 1, and then Hempfield leads 2-1. That's your storyline for all three of these games. Good kill point for the Hempfield Spartans in the center of the line. Let's say it might have been DeFloria who got the kill point. Irwin was also there. Another serve for the Hempfield Spartans with a 2-1 lead. Center set, block, point. It was Staines. Staines had the last kill point, and she gets the block point to put Hempfield up 3-1.
And that was Savitsky that went up against her. And when you have a setter like Savitsky, she's certainly very talented, but doesn't have the size to match up with a girl like Staines. That works in Hempfield's favor.
Jump serve for Redinger. Near side set for Zolkowski, and Morgan Zolkowski gets the kill point through the block. West Allegheny down 3-2 will get service back. It will be Lauren Long to do the honors. Nice tip with the knee brace.
Yeah, she said it does not restrict her, and certainly that's evident with her play around the net.
She gets the ace. We're tied at 3.
You talked about West Allegheny. I believe this is their 3rd year in AAA, and they were just a dominant team in AA. They went to the state championship. I believe it was Savitsky's freshman year that they went either to the state championship or to the state semifinals, 2011.
Yeah, they were the number 2 seed. Last year they were the number 12 seed and lost in the first round to Seneca Valley. And that's a point for Hempfield at the net. And again, they've been obviously the better team at the net, listening or watching on the live stream. And they lead 4-3, and off the bench to serve is Emma Pavernik, played by the Indians, and that works out. Hempfield kind of, the middle hitter for West Allegheny went up, and Hempfield bought into it, and the ball just went right over between 3 of them for the point.
Something interesting, I don't think we've seen a libero out there. There is one on the bench for the Spartans, Cammie Ward, I believe that libero is, but haven't seen the libero used at all, and that's an interesting decision because it seems like the vast majority of coaches use a libero, at least in some regards, and obviously we've seen Plaha out there a decent amount for West Allegheny.
Plaha served into the net. Coach Turchetta told me, I don't like subs. She circled her starters and then just keyed Pavarnik, so she likes to stick to the rotation. Good job by West Allegheny, near side set. I believe it was Kester to get it over, and Hempfield tried to track it down. They couldn't. We're tied at 5, so these games have been tight, as evidenced by the game scores, but both favor Hempfield, 27-25 in the first, 26-24 in the second. Savitsky serves for West Allegheny, played by the Spartans into the back line for DeFloria. Near side set. No, they go opposite. Good job to fake me out. Buck plays it over. Hempfield wasn't faked out. Saved by the Indians. Now a near side set for Kester. Played in the back line by Hempfield's DeFloria. Dug out, but it goes out. Good effort by West A, but it went wide, and Hempfield leads 6-5. They get service back for Lexi Irwin.
And that was Savitsky that laid out there, as you mentioned, a great effort, but could not locate it in the court of play. She's talking to the chair official now about something. She hit the court here pretty hard. I don't know if they're maybe saying she got an answer about something.
Petitioning, you may not get the call overturned, but you've planted a seed.
I don't think players or coaches would ever do that.
Really? He says tongue-in-cheek. Off the tape for the ace, Lexi Irwin. And turning around for West Allegheny was Zolkowski, and she looked one way, the ball went the other. The service point, 3 of the last 4 points have gone to Hempfield, and they lead 7-5. West Allegheny to the near side for Buck, off a block. Played by the Hempfield Spartans. Good dig by Redinger. Opposite side set, dumped over by Kisner. Center set, blocked by Hempfield. West Allegheny will try opposite side set for Buck. And Buck went down the far sideline, but out. It was Hempfield. Leads 8-5.
And there you see the issues for West Allegheny, as the Lady Indians had 3 spike attempts around the net, not able to get the first 2 past the block, and the third one goes errant and out of play.
Played in the back line after the serve. Quickly over by West Allegheny. Good dig to the floor for Irwin. To the back line, it's played over but wide by Morgan DeFloria. That ends the run. Gives the service back to West Allegheny with the point. The Indians trail 8-6. Off the bench to serve is the senior, Taylor Hottenfeller. She's a little bit to the left of the center line, serving right to left. Into the tape it goes. An error. 9-6 Hempfield. They'll get the serve right back for Gabby Holmberg. Jump service for Holmberg with the right hand. Plaha plays it, but long and almost picking off the manager down there. Timeout for West Allegheny, trailing 10-6. Trying to stay alive in this game, stay alive in this match as they trail 2-0.
And I'm not certain on this, Bob. Maybe you could help me out, but I believe, especially going to help me with his name, I think it's Yoko Nagao. Is that the former Upper St. Clair?
Former Upper St. Clair coach who's an assistant.
She's on the staff, and I have not seen her. Is she? I've not been able to locate her on the bench for West Allegheny.
I didn't. There was just one other assistant on the bench when I went down before the game to talk to Coach Begor, so I haven't seen her.
So she might not have been able to make the journey out here tonight, but Coach
or she may be stuck on Route 48.
Yeah,
I hear it's a rough one.
Especially if you're coming from Plum, that could be a potential issue. But it's interesting because you know, she came and joined Brian Begor on his staff here, and I think it's really had a positive effect. Certainly, a lot of the players have said that. Brian Begor is very well respected. He coaches travel volleyball, and a lot of the girls from the other teams played. We had some girls from Blackhawk, I believe, that said that they had played for him as well. So
he's been around a while.
He knows his volleyball, but he's going to have to do a pretty impressive coaching job right now if he wants his team to battle back as they trail 2-0.
He's trying to settle them down after the timeout. Holmberg with another serve, played by the Indians to the near side. Dumped over by Long, played by Hempfield in the back line by DeFloria. To the net, dumped. Good job by the Indians to keep it alive. Dunked back over, Plaha plays it. Third time in a row is a charm for Claire Staines. If at first you don't succeed, you try a second time and then try a third time, and it worked.
Yeah, and Hempfield once again winning those points at the net. As you mentioned, it took 3 tries, but ultimately the Spartans get a critical point to go up by 5.
Another serve for Gabby Holmberg. Reverse set for Bach. Kill point at the right antenna for Rachel Bach. That'll end the run. West Allegheny gets the point, and the Indians get service back, trailing 11-7. And Nicole Ostrander off the bench to serve for the Indians.
Killen also enters in for West Allegheny.
Killen has had a couple spurts at the net. You need that to counter the Hempfield net play. Tapped over. Hempfield plays it into the forecourt to the right, and now we do get a extra hit. Brian Begor wanted that earlier, and the whistle came in a little bit late, but that's the correct call. Makes it 11-8.
Another serve from well behind the line there.
They get it to the near side. I believe it was tapped over by Redinger. She was there. And it's 12-8. Hempfield. Hempfield will serve left to right for Leah Kisner. Runs up with a jump serve in the right hand. Take it off the face by Bach, but she did. Center set, no, opposite side, tapped home. Angle left to right for the point for Morgan DeFloria.
Well, that was clear that Hempfield had the advantage right off the serve. West Allegheny, as you mentioned, Buck took that one up high and not really able to set up the offense where the Indians is ultimately that one. They just had to play over, and they were on a defensive, and Hempfield took advantage.
That was good recognition for the point. Good recognition as well. Holmberg in the middle with DeFloria. There were 4 sets of hands. It's a kill point for Hempfield. 14-9, another timeout for West Allegheny. 14-8, excuse me, is the score. I credited 1 point too many to West A. Just trying to keep them alive, keep them in the game. It worked in the first game. They took a timeout. They came back. It worked really well in the second game, Sean, because West Allegheny came back from that 8-point deficit to force extra points. They needed to work again, obviously, in this crucial game 3.
And there's something to be said, and this is certainly no slant against West Allegheny, but it seems as though they can't win that critical point that, you know, obviously we mentioned they had service point for the first set, couldn't get that when Hempfield battled back. They had an opportunity after they had a tremendous rally, did the Indians in that second set. They tied it up at 24-24, but then Hempfield gets the next 2 points. They're just seemingly 1 point away in those first 2 sets where the West Allegheny Indians, and right now they've fallen into a 6-point deficit. They're going to have to make another surge here and find a way to get over that hump and finally, win that critical point to capture a set and try to at least make Hempfield work, as right now it's Spartans up 2-0 and backs against the wall for West Allegheny.
Hempfield has won 9 of the last 12 points. He was tied at 5 before this run for the Spartans. The run up and the jump for Kisner. Dug by Buck. Near side set for Long. Good job to dig on the backside for Hempfield. That's a kill point. DeFloria down to the floor to try to get it was Hottenfeller, but off of her hands and out it goes. 15-9 or 15-8 Hempfield. I keep wanting to give West Allegheny that 9th point. Allison Kester comes in for West Allegheny. It will be a serve for Kisner. Buck digs. Quick hit by the Indians. Played by Hempfield. Opposite side set for DeFloria. But double hit. West Allegheny gets point and service, trailing 15-9. Finally, I'm on the same page.
And that one stopped a pretty nice run there by the Spartans that started with a service there for West Allegheny. And you give Hempfield an opportunity to go into serve and make a run, it's going to be tough, and they're going to get another point here off a block.
Buck serves. And this is the block. No, it went out off the block. It's Hempfield point. They did a good double team on DeFloria, but it went out. So the serve goes to Hempfield. Redinger. Near side set for Long, blocked by the Spartans. Played by the Indians. They'll need to play it over, and Buck does. Hempfield will go opposite. No, center set Long. They had DeFloria at the far antenna and Staines in the middle. Staines went to the back corner but misfired. And it's 16-10 point back over to West Allegheny. Serve for Lauren Long, down by 6. Played by DeFloria. Back to DeFloria for the kill. Blocked nicely by the Indians for the point.
Was that Savitsky that got up?
Killen and Savitsky were both there, but I think Savitsky was the major player in that one.
Having
nice hops,
your setter going up and blocking an emphatic spiked attempt around the net.
Another serve for the Indians, played by Hempfield to the near side set that is blocked on the Staines kill. Dug by Hempfield, played by the Indians. Long, it'll come back to the near side to Kester. Opposite side, angle left to right, off the arm of Holmberg. 3 in a row for the Indians to cut the lead to 16-12. Another serve for Lauren Long. And up to Floria, but no support. Ace for Lauren Long. 4 in a row for the Indians. 5 of the last 6 to make it 16-13 in game 3.
And that one kind of just died off the hands of DeFloria, and none of her teammates able to get over in time to keep it alive.
Lauren Long, the junior, with another serve. Dug out by Hempfield. Back line set, played over by Kisner. Long to get it on the far side was Savitsky. Tapped into the donut. Good decision right in the middle. Staines was there as well as Irwin, Lexi Irwin. And they find the hole to make it 17-13 point to the Spartans. Serve back over to West or to Hempfield. Hempfield serves, the Indians save it through the block. Kill point at the near antenna for Kester.
Pair of substitutions, including Plaha coming in for the service.
Plaha, the libero, in the red shirt. The lead is 3. West Allegheny trails 17-14 to the Hempfield Spartans. Dug out by DeFloria, reverse set for DeFloria, bam! At the near side antenna.
And that one, that was DeFloria, just exploded to the end. That might have been the most emphatic and impressive spike of this entire match.
DeFloria back to the end line at her left to serve. The baseline. Tapped up right into the middle for Gabby Holmberg. The receive went right into a set almost for Hempfield. And it's 19-14 Spartans. The walk up in the serve, off the tape, but played by Buck. Near side set for Kester. She goes with the angle. It's dug by Hempfield. Center set, blocked by Holmberg, and up in the air. Holmberg had the set. West Allegheny tips it off the tape, and a good second effort to get up there for Zurkowski to get the point for West Allegheny.
And what a save that was. And I didn't see what girl saved it, but she had to hit it almost directly across on her side of the net to allow her teammates to make the play, and ultimately West Allegheny comes up with a critical point.
They get service back for Savisky, down 4 at 19-15. Opposite side set for Kisner. Kisner powers it through and in for the point. Back to Hempfield, the serve goes. Spartans lead 20-15. Service for Lexi Irwin. Irwin with the right hand, played by Long. Back to the near side for Rachel Buck. Played by Hempfield. Opposite side set. Plaha cannot dig the kill for Kisner. 21-15 Hempfield.
Yeah, Plaha directed that one right at her head coach. Brian Beager caught it and rolled the ball underneath the net with a disgusted look on his face over to the Hempfield side.
Irwin with the serve, dug by Buck, tapped over by Zolkowski. But the second opportunity for Buck goes wide at the near antenna. 22-15 Hempfield.
Yeah, and the Spartans rolling right now as they're closing in on a straight set victory, just 3 points away.
Irwin to serve once again. Dug out by Long into the net. Savisky tried to save it and/or set it. She could do neither. 23-15 timeout. No substitution in for Hempfield. Emily Horwat will come in with an 8-point lead.
And right now,
Horwat had picked up some of the slack for Maddie Holmberg earlier in the season. She gets her first action. Sorry to interrupt.
well, you see it, the effort's still there for West Allegheny. It just doesn't seem like they're communicating right now. It's been more individual efforts than a team effort on these last few points.
Block, tapped by Hempfield, saved by West A. Reverse set, tapped over by Kester. Dug out by the Spartans, opposite side set for Kisner. And Plaha cannot get there. It is match point Hempfield in game number 3, leading 23-15. Lexi Irwin serving for a spot in the quarterfinals. Irwin plays it over, dug out by Long. Center set, tapped home, and the Indians will stay alive. Zolkowski, center, angled to the near sideline for the point.
And that's obviously big because now it returns serve to West Allegheny. There's going to be a lot of pressure on a senior in Hottenfeller.
Yep, she's off the bench to serve. They need the run to stay alive, do the Indians. Right-handed serve. DeFloria. Oh, she misplayed it, didn't see it. Was maybe they were communicating as it was coming, and goes off her hand and out for the ace.
Remember, Hottenfeller had that service there last time she was in the contest. That first one, she gets the ace off of, however, this time around.
Hottenfeller played by DeFloria this time. Opposite side set. Good job to keep it alive by Long. Tapped over by West Allegheny. Hempfield will need to play it over. They'll get it back to DeFloria. She does. Played up by, yeah, it was DeFloria. The Indians need to play it over. DeFloria digs. Center set. This is over. On the platter for Gabby Holmberg. And the Hempfield Spartans are into the quarterfinals. They win game number 3 by a score of 25-17. Back to talk about it. Straight set win for Hempfield. West Allegheny is done. The Hempfield Spartans are into the quarterfinals. It's the 2014 WPIL Volleyball Playoffs. Exclusive coverage is brought to you by Carlow University, and it's right here on the MSA Sports Network.
The team at Esmark takes great pride in the company they've built and their growing presence in Pittsburgh. Strong values, steadfast dedication, and unwavering commitment extends well beyond the walls of Esmark facilities into virtually every facet of our local communities. From ongoing support for critical health and human services for families and children to youth sports and recreation programs. It's the many faces of Esmark that touch lives, instill hope, and provide opportunities to enhance and enrich the world around us. Esmark is proud to extend its support of local communities through its sports sponsorship with the MSA Sports Network.